Hello everyone, welcome to the channel again. Today we'll be doing a reading for the new moon of June, which would be falling on June 6th. It's going to be falling, for those who follow the tropical zodiac, it's going to be falling in Gemini. For those of us who follow the sidereal calendar or zodiac, it's going to fall on Taurus, all right? The importance of the new moon, for those of you who don't know, is it indicates the beginning of new cycles, all right? It is a good time to set new intentions, new goals, new beginnings, if you will, all right? It is important to have, in this time, this is the best time, the most auspicious time to begin new things, all right? Or to at least give birth to those projects, all right? For those of you who are Gemini or have Gemini rising or Gemini moon, it is a time to let go of things of the past, all right? So if you've been carrying something for a long time, or even for a short time, but it's troublesome, the new moon is the time to let go. If you need to make a little ritual where you just, whatever you be, burn a piece of paper with a problem, throw some incense, burn some sage, whatever it is that you require, but it's a very good time to kind of cut that cycle, because the cycle is already dead, and begin with a new cycle now for the new moon of June 6th. If your case is you have Taurus rising, or your sun is Taurus, or you have your moon in Taurus, this is a good time to persevere. This is a time of stability for you, all right? So if anything has been sort of like unsteady, this is the time to bring your energies and feel the calmness of the new moon and steady things out for you, all right? So let's begin here. We're going to begin with the set, okay, with the sort of like the theme, if you will, with my Oracle of Activations, all right? And we're going to see the first card. It's already shuffled. I just try to shuffle in advance so we don't waste time, looking at me and my hands shuffling cards, right? So the cards have already been shuffled. And let's see, for the theme of the month for June, it is authority. All right, you see it here. So what this is telling me is that you guys, whoever is receiving this reading, need to contemplate or consider bringing your own power and not being afraid of your shadows, all right? Bringing your own power, bringing yourself to the front, or at least to the center. This is the importance of this card, all right? It has this pattern, right? You see the 3 circles, all right, with the star in the middle. So what this entails is bring yourself to the center. Look at all the circumstances going around, that you're bringing yourself to the center, to the light, okay? So this is important for you guys who are having this reading. It is the theme that we're going to see is going to be about bringing your authority, bringing your power, if you will, all right? And not being afraid of it, all right? Doing it in a calm manner, not doing it. Authority doesn't mean meanness, all right? This is typically what we immediately, because we have seen people in authority positions, right? And unfortunately, because of our education, most of them, they are not the kindest, sometimes the most compassionate people sometimes. So just want to bring that difference to you, that authority does not mean to be mean or abusive, okay? It just means you hold the power, all right? Now, power, as everything, can be used for good or it could be used for bad, all right? So we're talking about that authority, that sense of power that you have within yourself that can be used for good, all righty? So having said that, we'll put this card here. We already know now we have the authority card, all right? I'll put it right here. And then let's do the tarot reading. We're going to do a Celtic cross, all right? And this is again for the month of June, for the new moon that we're going to have in June 6th. For those of you who follow tropical zodiac, it's going to fall in Gemini. For those of us who follow the sidereal zodiac, is going to fall on Taurus. All right. So let's start. All right. We're going to have here your current situation. Oh my God. This is a beautiful card to have as your current situation. The Ace of Pentacles. We'll go into it into a second. All right. Then here you have the obstacle, of course. We got the worry. Then we have here your recent past, of course, Cups, and what's coming in your future. All right. Then we have here the root cause. And here we have the goals of aspirations. Let me close this up a little bit so everything can fit in. And then here, let me just go here. This goes here, 7. This is your attitude. This is your external influences. This is your hopes and fears. And let's just keep the surprise, the final outcome. Alrighty. So let's take a look, guys. All right. So we have here the first card is going to be the Ace of Pentacles, which is your current situation. And what this means is things are being offered to you. I love this. Things are being offered to you. It's a very beneficial card, which implies success, prosperity. So this new moon is going to bring a new cycle of prosperity, hopefully, of success, health, abundance. It's productive. It is given. Also, what I love about this particular card is that if you see the hand kind of carrying the pentacle, right? You see it here. It's almost like it's divinely given, you know. Some cards have to do with effort, right? That you have to put in. Like, for example, the Three of Pentacles is a card of effort. It's things that you have to develop, things that you have to do. But when I have the Ace of Pentacles, it's a card about things being given, offered to you. All right. I like to call this the card of good karma. All right. The good karma that is coming back to you. So that's what is important, guys, to always have, you know, our reservoir, if you will, of good karma, where, you know, we do good things. We think good thoughts for people, right? So they think also well of us. And so this is a great beginning, all right? A great new cycle of the new moon for you guys. Now, the obstacle for you is going to be the 9th of Swords, or the 9th of spades. You'll hear me say sometimes swords, sometimes I'll say spades. And the difficulty that you have, all right, or that you may have at the beginning is certain maybe deception, whether you are disillusioned by some circumstances or by somebody that you thought, you know, that you thought better of, and turns out the reality is not as good as you thought it would be or you imagined. And that's fine. That's just a reality check. All right. We are just moving forward, but that's kind of like the problem that you might be facing. All right. Because there might be, sort of like the deception and the illusion. And there might be some restriction also about how you see things, about how you perceive things. All right. So this calls for you to open your perception a little bit, especially because you have these beautiful things being offered to you and being given to you. All right. So this is a card to like open your perception. All right. Purify, clarify your perception so you can see the real good things that are happening for you and to you. All right. But yeah, there might be some deception, somebody or something, you know, or circumstance did something that revealed a kind of a new face, right? Because I think we are all multi-phase. We are all multi-layers. Not like we have one layer or two. It's like multi-layers. But something happened, possibly with a person where you saw kind of a new layer that you're not particularly loving, right? So that's what's happening, all right? Then for your recent past, we see you being kind of like having let's say a good time, but you've been celebrating. There's been a good time. You see the three ladies, right? They are kind of like celebrating, raising their cups. The cups have to do with emotions, by the way. This is what the Suit of Cups mean. By the way, I'll leave a video. I have a video about the Suit of Cups. I'll leave it here. Here it is. And explains a little bit of the Suit of Cups and the importance of the Suit of Cups. It's a short video, so take a look at it if you want to know more about, what this means for you. So the Suit of Cups has to deal with emotions. And I love this because it's not only emotions, but it has to do with beneficence. It's a benefic card, all right? Because, as I said, you see the people celebrating. There's healing also, all right? There's love that's being shared with other people. Maybe this is what this comes from, right? This disillusionment, okay, comes from something that you were kind of like sharing with somebody here, something that you were kind of like feeling with somebody here, and then like, oh, well, it's not quite like what I thought it was going to be, all right? But this is where you're coming from. You're coming from a good space, though, all right? As even social, I would say, those of you who are more social, there was a lot of social activity, a lot of gathering, if you will. And I don't mean just that on the physical level, but also an internal level, all right? So this is a very nice card. And then you're moving, let me just put this on the front, okay? This is sort of like your coming future. Let me put the S, because I love this. I just love the picture, right? So we have here the Six of Swords, or the Six of Spades, all right? What happens with the Six of Swords, or Spades, is that it calls for applying yourself mentally to proper tasks, whatever it is in front of you that you need to do. That kind of a thing, right? It involves progress because, if you see the boat that this man is carrying, the lady and the child is moving forward. So it does talk about progress. It does talk about moving forward or moving on, all right? It usually brings promotion, all right? It brings also emotional support, all right? So I love it because you've been supported here, because there's no way you can celebrate and, gather if there's no support. So you're being supported, and now here in the future, there still will be support, all right? Maybe more of the emotional type. So I love that. And then what we have here for the goals is the Three of Spades, or the Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords talks to us, or calls for us, to be strong, right? Kind of seeing beyond the duality, seeing beyond the play that's going on around you, all right? So I love this card, particularly because we have this one with a little bit of problem, deception. So this is setting your mind straight, all right? So this is what it's inviting you to do. This card talks about mental growth, okay? Strengthening your mind, and seeing beyond the illusion, seeing beyond the duality, all right? And finding the core of things, all right? Remember, we talked about here, in authority, bring yourself to the center, all right? So this card has to do a lot with that, all right? Sort of like watching the drama, if you will, going on around you, but you bring yourself to center, all right? This is what this card does, all right? Now, what is the root cause that is kind of bringing all this, all right, for you? Let's take a look at it. It's the 11th. I'm sorry, it's Justice. I just saw the 11. I confused it with a Suit card, but it's actually the Justice card. And I love this card also because Justice has to do, again, with balance. It has to do with harmony. Here is the Suit of Swords. And I love this because, again, the Suit of Swords has to do with thinking, with our mental process, all right? Remember how we said the suits, and maybe you look at the video, or you can look at it later. These guys have to do with emotions. These guys, the spades, right, have to do with the thinking process, our mind, how we perceive things, how we process thoughts, all right? So this card brings a sense of balance, of harmony, okay? There might be some decisions to do, all right? Or the decisions that you have made have brought this about, all right? So this is a card of decision-making, if you will, and of responsibility also. See how the gentleman is kind of, he has the balance here, and he has the sword in the other hand, all right? So we're talking about keeping things fair and balanced, keeping things under control. Again, when you're in balance, you are in center. So this whole thing for you, remember guys, is authority and bringing your own power. So everything I'm talking about, remember to bring it to that theme of bringing your own power forward. All right. So let's go to this card, which is your attitude. So there's been a lot of decision making. There's been a lot of like, it's a, I know it's a scary looking car. I know it is because it looks like, thunder, the red, the lightning, and people falling from a tower. But that's not, a bad card. All right. It's just a card that implies there might be changes. Okay. And this again calls for mental reorientation. All right, people. This is calling for you to have a change of mind, literally a change of mind. All right. So this might be again related to this person that we saw that maybe, deceived you, or there was a deception or something. That wasn't quite what you thought. And again, maybe it's not their fault. All right. I just want to say that. It's just that you discovered something that now is not agreeing so well with you. All right. So this indicates the change that happens from that. All right. And this is kind of funny because this card, there are cards also in the tarot that involve change or invoke change. This one invokes change, but it's involuntary. All right. So meaning something external, a circumstance that is external to you is making you make the change, adjust your mentality to this new person or situation that you're dealing with. Okay. Then we have here at the page of one, your external influences. This is a lovely card because it has to do with curiosity. It has to deal with being sensitive and being introspective, like looking inward again. Remember, we're looking at our power. So this has to do with having that sense of introspection and being able, okay, to look at yourself internally. So this is also, it calls for maybe stopping, entertainment a little bit for you, in this cycle, and going inwards a little bit, being more analytical, if you will. All right. Being more curious about things and being more analytical, but also in a childlike manner. This is not a card of heavy thinking, the ones are a little bit more of a heavy thinker card. The ones have to do more with action, and they are a little bit more playful, if you will. All right. So this is a playful investigation of yourself, a playful introspection. All right. Which again, this is all about bringing the power, bringing your own authority to the front. Then here we have the Queen of Wands. And this is sort of a little bit the hopes and the fears that you're currently holding, all right? And the Queen of Wands has to do with you wanting to know more, because this is a card of curiosity, all right? Also, remember, it's Wands. So, but this is typically the person, when they get this card, they're looking for more knowledge. And I want to say, no, I'm not talking necessarily so much about knowledge, academic knowledge, let's say things that you learn, things that you see in YouTube, for example, things that you go to school for, but things that are metaphysical, things of the spirit, things are invisible, and things are kind of like out of this world, if you will. Okay, we're looking for the hidden world, if you will, the invisible world. And that's what this card is about. So that's what you're hoping to achieve with everything that's going to begin in this cycle in June 6th. All right. Especially again, if you are Taurus or Gemini or have your moon or rising in those signs, this is what it entails. This is what it involves. All right. It's going to be, it's still a vibrant card. It brings a lot of good characteristics. Okay. But there is that call for metaphysical knowledge. There's that call for knowing more about your other self, right? The higher self, right? And then what we have here also is that there's certain sensuality. So this might be a good time if you're dating someone, or if you're interested in someone, or someone is interested in you. This is also indicates a little bit of sensuality. So if that's in your life right now, that might be a nice thing to have in this particular cycle that's beginning, all right? So the finalization of this reading, and here we have the last card, which is kind of the final outcome for this cycle. All right. So let's take a look at it. Ta-da! And oh my God. All right. I love this. This is the 9th of Cups. All right. Again, really do check out the Cups video that I showed before. YouTube only allows me to put one time the card, so I cannot put it anymore. But do go back if you want. I'll put the link down in the description below. Because this is a lovely, lovely, lovely card to end the month with. Why? Because the 9th of Cups has to do, remember, with emotions, and it has to do with fulfillment, which is lovely. Because it does feel like at the end of this cycle, you will be fulfilled, you will be happy, you will be energized. See, let me show you a little bit closer the imagery of this card. Look at this gentleman. He is sitting there, cross arms, open legs, all the cups behind him, kind of almost like sitting in an altar. And look at his face. He's like happy. I like to say he's full of himself, but in a nice way. I don't mean it in a demeaning way. I just mean like he's really kind of content. But when you're happy, you're just like fulfilled, you're not looking for anything else. It's like when you have a good meal, right? You're fulfilled. You don't want any more. You enjoy what you have. You're just sitting there after a good meal. So this is exactly the end of the cycle for you. And you saw me, by the way, mess the cards, right? So this is really good. The 9 of Cups. So enjoy this cycle, guy. Let me show you again last. This is for authority. And if you like this reading, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Leave any comments, by the way, if you have any questions, if you enjoyed this reading, if it resonated with you, let me know. I love to see that. Or if you have any questions, I'm very good at answering questions. All right. So I hope you're having a great time in this new cycle that begins with the new moon, 28 days. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you and blessings.